Good morning. I'm KT. Welcome to the Lantern Mindfulness Practice, drop number 4. I'm re-recording. I had a bit of a change up in how I was feeling about things and the feedback I was getting, so I'm re-recording, I'm changing it up. I felt like I was sliding a little bit into ego, old ways, old habits, and I'll explain a little bit about that at the end. But let's jump right in. So the lantern represents good visibility the next couple of steps. So focus on inspired action that you have in the next couple of steps and do that which requires doing. That was some feedback that I got during a journaling session back when all of this started a few months ago when I was in the middle of the overwhelm is do that which requires doing. Okay. And how you figure out what that inspired action is through a daily practice, a mindfulness practice. It was, and I'll talk a little bit about this, it was what anchored me and helped me to continue to fortify myself to keep going. And it gave me strength, it gave me peace and resolve, comfort, kind of a fortification, if you will, once I started to do this mindfulness practice. And the first is gratitude. And you find something that you're grateful for. And I have officially moved to Mount Shasta. All of it's complete. It was the smoothest experience I've ever had with moving. I gave myself a long on-ramp and a long off-ramp under the message of self-care. Like, don't make this hard on yourself. This doesn't have to be as hard as you make it. You're picking up your things and moving them somewhere else. The hard part comes once you get there. And so it was a really, really good experience with the move. So I'm incredibly grateful for, because I think this lantern and this channel and this series is putting me in a position where I have to practice by doing. I practice by doing. This is for me. If for no one else, this is getting me through this. And so I'm very grateful for the direction that I'm getting and how meaningful it is to just focus on what's right in front of you. Because it can be very easy to succumb to the overwhelm. The second is meditation. Now, I will be very candid, and I've said it in the first 3 drops. It's the tough nut to crack. So now I'm in the overwhelm of putting a house together and unpacking my things. And I've been that way probably for about 3 weeks, really since I left Shasta on September 14th, and it is now October 12th. So about a month. I haven't been meditating. I've been contemplating. I've been spending my time in the morning, doing what I normally do, but I haven't been meditating, and I certainly haven't been journaling. I just haven't. And so I'll talk a little bit about that. But they're important that you do them, right? It's important that you do them. That's the message, not that you can. I feel unanchored. I feel old ways. I do not feel connected. I feel trust. I love the house. I know I'm where I'm supposed to be. But I haven't given myself enough permission to slow down yet in order to really kind of sink and saturate. And so kind of this next week is when I'm starting to feel like slowing down. And so the meditation, like really coming back into play. Even this morning, I don't think I'm going to, as I'm recording this. It's hard for me to get back in it. It's hard for me to get back in it, as important as it is. And it's up here, right? And my excuse is it's football Sunday. And the games start at 10 here on the Pacific, in the Pacific time zone here on the in California near the coast. And so, I want to watch football. And so, right? And journaling. So drop 4 is interesting because it's kind of the reality of how hard it is and how important it is. And so those top 3, and then move around outside. I haven't been doing that either. Look at the sky. Look at what's going on. Look at how big these trees are. This is my backyard. P.S. Yeah, this is my backyard. It smells like forest. When I open the doors, it smells like forest. It's neat. I'm grateful for that. And then self-care. So really, I have been very, very focused on self-care with this move. As I'd said, I'd given myself a really long on-ramp. And so I'd had the universe is tricky and neat. It does neat things. Neat things happen. I had been put in a situation where my brother was moving from a very large home into another large home. 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom kind of stuff, like big pieces of lots of, man stuff, big TVs, big couches, big chairs. You know, he's a big boy. And you think by looking around, you have enough time. You're like, you assess. You're like, all right, that'll take me a day. Plan for 2. If it's the kitchen, plan for 4 times as much. And so I just kind of learned from that experience with my brother to give myself lots and lots of time to pack my stuff up. And so I packed my stuff up. I took my time. The move went really well. I'm taking my time unpacking. Nothing. I mean, it was just really a smooth experience. And so I feel like that was a big part of self-care, is give yourself, what's the rush? Why do we have to make this a bad experience? Give yourself, I packed for a couple of hours a day and then went and did other stuff. Now here, I'm voraciously attacking this house with the unpacking efforts and the settling efforts. But that's kind of the self-care, is I just really decided to focus on the things that I wanted to focus on that would bring me joy to do, and take care of the things that had to be done and spread it out so that it wasn't like, I'm going to do that on Monday. You know, no, you're not. And don't put yourself through it, because then on Sunday you're thinking about it. Then on Monday you're beating yourself up. And then on Tuesday you're beating yourself up because you didn't. Don't just do the stuff that requires doing. What is right in front of you that has to be done? And quit racing and chasing. Now I'm still trying to unwind. And now it's the season of solitude for me, right? This is going to be it. But yeah, a lot of grace around self-care during this move. And if I did something silly, like I did a really silly thing, and I just am still kind of after myself about it because it's really silly. I don't want to say, because it involves somebody else, and I just, there's no reason for that. But I did something really silly, and I'm still trying to give myself grace about it. But I think that's like the one snafu I had with the move. And so here's what I'll say. Yesterday I was sitting, it was a little overcast. I was a little gloomy, out here all by myself. I've got friends here. I've got people that feel like they're better friends to me than the friends that I put on ice. I put a lot of people on ice. I don't have a lot of strong friendships right now. I've got a few core in my life. My ex and I have drummed up a friendship, which is just absolutely a delight and blows me away. I cannot believe the shift that I have had that enables that and allows that. And what a blessing that is. And so I've been doing, kind of some ruminating. And what occurred to me yesterday is, where was I a year ago? So it's October 12th today. So yesterday would have been the 11th. It was before my practice. It was before I met Kemma. Well, as I was meeting Kemma, so this is the month that I think that I was starting to meet Kemma, who would go on to be my holistic life coach, Kemma Grace. And for 12 weeks, we worked together. He does in Santa Fe, he does sound bath, and he does breath work, which is incredible. And then it turns out that he is a holistic life coach, that he's got a 12-week program. And about this time a year ago, it was stormy seas. The relationship ended in the middle of August. I had spent most of September in Idaho, near my brother and his kids, trying to figure out what I was doing. This month, I had rented a 1-month Airbnb, a little casita in Santa Fe. And by this time, I think I'd found my casita that I stayed in for a year. So that was starting to settle down. But I felt untethered. It felt like the seas were so stormy at that point in my life that I was just being battered against the rocks. Like my interactions with my ex were unpleasant. They would send thunderbolts through me. I was raging. I was confused. I was scared. I was beginning this journey and didn't know what am I doing? How do I do this? How do I process what I'm feeling, the things that are coming up, the understandings that I'm having? How am I supposed to move through this as emotionally unsettled as I am right now? And that's where I was a year ago, and I'm feeling that again because of the gratitude that I have that it was during this time and through my ex of all places that I got introduced to Kemma. My ex saw his sound bath ad on Insta and went while I was in Idaho. Came back thinking we might be friends. We went one time. Then I started going to his breathwork classes, which are incredible. I'll talk more about breathwork in another drop, because that was big shifts. And it was about I think it was the end of October, because we started working together in November, and it was 12 weeks through the end of January. And it's when he helped me implement a practice. He had me wake up with gratitude. Before you get out of bed, find gratitude. Stay in bed until you find gratitude. Like, he was hardcore. And then he had me doing a lot of journaling, like contemplate this, look into this. We were working a lot on lack, helping me with grounding meditations. I can help you with that. All kinds of things. And it was wake up with gratitude before you get out of bed, meditate, journal, and then start your day. Move around, stretch, then start your day. And once I started to do that and working with him, we'd have weekly calls. I'd go to his sessions. And that is really when I felt the tide shift. And so I can speak from experience the value and the importance, the gift, and the struggle. Because this is a journey. It's not, the journey is the destination kind of thing. And so understanding that the practice is essential, but that it's very challenging, and that it requires self-care. Or you can just get to the point where it's like right now, it would be very easy for me to say, you know what, you're here. That stuff's not working. Like, you're here what are you doing up here? All by yourself in this emerald isle of green carpeting. And this home is beautiful. It's just got a lot of emerald green carpet. But I'm leaning in on that. I mean, there was a lot of resistance for me on that for a good long while. Like, trying to figure out what I can do about that carpet. What am I going to do about that carpet? And then my friend Willow Starr up here, she came over and saw my float moat of these giant rugs that I'd put all over. She's like, it's reminiscent of that game Hot Lava. Did you ever play that when you were a kid? I'm like, yes. Okay, I got it. She's like, lean into the carpeting, lean in. Why do you think of all the colors and all the things to be dealing with, why do you think it's this right now? Yep, surrender to what is. And so I have. And so I was inspired to do a very authentic and raw drop to emphasize the struggle is real, but the value is immeasurable. And once I think I start connecting again, watch out, right? So my plan is if I can get a sunny day. Did you hear that? If I can get a sunny day. No. The plan is I'm going to the mountain tomorrow. I've been here a week by myself, unpacking. We're in good shape. Time to move around outside, get our practice going again. So today's football Sunday. I'm giving myself that grace as self-care. It's something I really enjoy. I love watching professional football. Even college football yesterday was freaking awesome. Ohio State and Oregon. Oh, my brother's a huge Ohio State fan, so that just really had to be a problem for him. I know that was disappointing in the last second. So I'm giving myself the grace of just relaxation today for some self-care. So gratitude, meditation, journaling, move around outside, and self-care, and find a way to try and hit most of those most days. But it's tough. The fact that you're here is positive, right? You're called. Thank you for being here, by the way. Thank you for being here. I'm switching. It's going to be more raw and authentic like this. I might do my hair. We're going to see. Because most of the magic like this is happening in the morning. It's getting chilly. I love my little cap. So, all right. So what we do in the lantern is we put, grab your lantern. All right. Can you see your next steps? I can. And it's to start to unwind from the frenzy of the move. Go to the mountain tomorrow. Get my feet on the ground. Put my back up against a tree. And set my timer for 11:11 and meditate. That's what I'm going to do tomorrow. And yay, I feel a sense of accomplishment with that. That's attainable. I'm looking forward to it, so I'll do it. Like, don't make it hard on yourself. Give yourself some grace. Help yourself be successful with this. Because the reward, you'll feel it. You'll know it. So those are my next steps, and I hope that yours align kind of similar, is lean in on this practice and start doing it. And then give yourself the grace to not be perfect at it. Don't beat yourself up about it. All right. Drop 5 coming soon. All right. Brave souls, keep going. Keep on keeping on.